Never used to do my own laundry, never mind for about 30, 40 people. I thought, oh no, I've destroyed the kit here. Next Stephen. A picture of the Formula 1 team doing the tyres, and the whole coach has just gone, way.
Hello and welcome back to Leicester's The Place with me, Gerry Taggart. And yes, of course he's here. The only man that can make a 1 hour interview seem like you've been at a 3-day party conference. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of a twist for you. Not an ex-player, not an ex-manager, but someone who's been working at the coalface of Leicester City Football Club for nearly 30 years. The heart and soul of the club, and hopefully somebody who's got some juicy little tales for us today. Affectionately known as Macca, it's the kit man, Paul McAndrew.
Good morning.
Morning, Macca. Thanks for coming on the show, mate.
Mate, thank you.
Macca, great to see you as always, mate. Looking forward to this one. I am.
And we insisted we needed to get Macca on this show. And we've got you.
Not before time, but I think we're going to end up going lots of different angles. There's so much to talk about with your time at the club.
What I can tell and not tell.
We can work that out, mate. Just say it, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
But no, it's great to have you on the sofa. Even though that sounds a bit strange, but 28 years at the club, is it? 28 years, pretty much.
1996, June '96. I was a team driver for 2 years before that, so just over 30 years.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Right, so you actually started on the kit side of things just before I joined the club, and then, but you'd had a bit of connection with the club before then on the driving.
Yeah, because previous to that I was a coach driver, so I was driving the team coach for 2 seasons. The season when Brian Little was in charge in the Prem.
Yeah.
That was my first season. So I had Brian Little, Mark McGee, and then Martin came in halfway through that season when we got promoted.
Yeah.
The kit man at the time, halfway through, when Martin came in, he told me he was going to leave to go to Wolves at the end of the season.
What was his name?
Taff.
That's it, yeah, I've heard stories about
Taff,
him.
Yeah, so Taff was in his mid to late 60s. And I just jokingly made the comment. I said, well, if you do, let me know and I'll apply for your job, thinking nothing more of it. And that summer, after we got promoted, I was working on Euro 96. I get a call from Taff to say, thanks for everything, just to let you know I've left and I'll put your name forward.
Wow.
And I thought, I was only joking.
Yeah, I was only messing about, yeah.
I said, I'm only joking. And the next time I'm getting a call from the secretary at the time. He said, are you interested? I goes, well, yeah. I said, but I'll hold my hands up. I haven't got a clue what the job entails. He said, don't worry about it. So I'll get Martin to give you a call. So basically, Martin's rang me up and he's basically told me I've got the job. There's no interview. He said, you're right, you've got it. He said, we know you know us. And he said, we'll just work it from there. I said, but Gaffer, I said, I haven't got a clue what the job entails.
Yeah.
And then Monday to during the week, he said, oh, don't worry about that. We'll sort you out. So I thought, well.
And how was that when you first came in, your first day?
My first day was, we went down to Devon, to Tor Point on a pre-season camp to a naval base.
I remember it well, the Marine camp.
Marine camp, yeah. It was.
I wasn't on that one, but.
So Sheila, bless her, in the laundry, she packed everything, and so everything was ready for me to go. I've got all this equipment. I'm like, what am I going to do with all this? So we get down to the training camp, and we were given all these change rooms and brand new kit and what have you. And the lads had took all their kit for the first session, handed it back. So I've got to do laundry, and I'm thinking, well, I've never used to do my own laundry, never mind for about 30, 40 people. And
were they kind to you? Did they realise it was your first day?
What do you think?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
Who are we talking about as well, Mike?
That area would have been like Lenny, Muzz, Mickey Whitlow, Walshy. Yeah. So it was a tough school.
Yeah. So Stewie Campbell in there as well.
Young lads, yeah. Stewie Campbell, you'd have been Emil, that would have been just breaking. Yeah. Excuse me, just breaking through. But Stewie Campbell.
They're not slop it in mud and stuff.
Oh yeah,
inside out and upside down. And
I remember the next day, I reissued the kit, and I was looking at Mickey Whitlow, and I was looking, oh my God, this kit is just the T-shirt has gone like that, shrunk. I thought, oh no, I've destroyed the kit here. So I've gone up to Wits because no one said a word to me, and I said, Wits, is your kit all right? And he went, yeah, it's fine. I said, well, is it shrunk? He went, like it's every year. The first day, it's fantastic. Because remember, in those days, it was just like cotton
Not the best quality,
yeah. Quality, like. And of course, first wash, it just shrinks like that. I said, I thought it was my fault. He said, nah, don't worry about it. So,
to be fair, Mickey Whitlow was a good man to approach.
Yeah.
You know, he'd always
reliable.
Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy.
It's a good job it wasn't Parks.
Yeah, exactly. Parks would have been caning you, wouldn't he?
Destroyed me.
Parks put this tiny little kid's outfit on or something.
Yeah.
But mind you, if it did do that, if it shrinks like drastically.
Yeah. Well, it did.
You'll have
I was.
So could they wear it?
They could wear it.
Wearable, but it was
wearable,
snug.
but it was like.
Especially pre-season, come back a bit chunky, don't you?
First day.
First day, yeah.
So how did that go? How did that trip go? And by the end of it, then
it was good, like because we were at a naval base, so like all the play, I think they all set like communal room dormitories. So like the staff on a dormitory, and like Martin was like, you worked hard, but when in your free time you could go out, you could go down into Tor Point, have a few beers and whatever. Like, he was good, like work hard, play hard. But I always remember John Robertson. The second or third day, the players are out training, and I've gone back. I've had an hour to kill, so I've gone back to the dormitory. And there's Robbo on his little camp bed. He's fast asleep like that, snoring away. And you've got the band of the Royal Marines practising outside the window. The window's like red hot. The windows are open. You just see the Royal Marines marching up and down. And there's Robert like that, snoring away. I thought, how the hell is he not hearing that?
And he was literally on a little camp bed.
These little army beds. Yeah, we all shared.
Brilliant.
Apart from Martin, all the staff, we were in this dormitory, and you can imagine the carry on at night time, the tricks and pranks and what you were doing. That was my first season. I loved it.
Fun down there.
So you definitely made the right decision then to switch jobs from being a coach driver to being a kit man.
Because when I was offered the job, I was thinking, what do I do here? Because all I ever known was being a coach driver. So I thought, well, I'll have a go at it. And I thought, if I can't do it or I'm useless at it, at least I can go back to coach driving. At least I have no regrets.
Yeah.
So 28 years, I'm still here. So
wow.
Something else you've known since you were a young lad that a lot of people don't know is that you support a certain football club that's not Leicester City.
Oh, I get abuse here online now.
In the Eastish Midlands.
Yeah, I was a Coventry fan all my life. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what we were talking earlier? And I remember it when you mentioned it, but I've forgotten. You keep it under wraps, understandably so.
All right, that first season when Coventry, they came to Filbert Street, and I was sat in the dock. It was the weirdest feeling ever because obviously being a Coventry fan, I used to go home and away as well.
These are proper support,
I was proper support. I used to go everywhere, and the actual.
Did you go? Wembley. Did you go cup final?
Yeah. But
Keith Ouchin and all that.
Yeah, the actual that first game we at Filbert Street, Coventry actually won 3. I think it was 3-1. But when they scored, I'm in our dugout. And I'm like,
don't want to be doing that.
I thought, what do I do here? So I thought, oh wow! So it was the weirdest feeling ever. And we went to Highfield Road later on in the season, and I remember walking. Remember, you had to come out of the corner walking down the side. I was getting dogs abuse. Everyone from Leicester was getting dogs abuse. But there's people I knew.
Yeah.
Giving me stick, and I thought, I can't swear.
Coventry supporters,
They were Coventry supporters, and I thought.
Were they giving you stick because they knew you were a Cov fan?
No, I don't think so. It's just because I was involved with Leicester.
Yeah.
And ever since then, Leicester 3. When Leicester play Coventry, I want to play.
Switch.
I want to play myself.
You switched, really? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm a member of.
So you like allegiance?
Yeah, 100% Leicester. Yeah, the Leicester Coventry game is. I know a lot of people have the Forest thing, and for me, it's Coventry. But last year I was gutted at
Cov, yeah.
Again, we were speaking before. We're thinking, we can't go through every manager that you worked with and under. Quite frankly, it's too many. Do you know exactly how many?
If you're including like caretakers in between, you can say Stowley, 5, is it 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
The style is 5 managers.
Yeah, I think at the minute I'm on 29
Wow.
managers.
29 all told.
29 in 29 years,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
one per season.
it's I had the one calendar year. Oh no, if I get this right, one calendar year I had 6 managers.
Wow.
6.
6 managers. I think that was a year.
Were you one of them, Tags?
Might have been.
It was-
Ollie was one. I was one.
Do you count
Megson
officially
was
as a...
Yeah, you count as a
Counts
caretaker.
officially as an
Nigel Worthington that year.
Yeah. Martin
Martin
Allen.
Allen.
Martin
That's
Allen.
5.
Gary Megson.
Gary, I named him. I'm trying to think. Oh, Kelly.
Rob Kelly.
Kelly.
Rob Kelly. Nigel Worthington. Martin Allen.
Megson.
Megson.
Me and Ollie.
You and Ollie. And then
That's 6. Me and then Ollie came in.
it's Ollie at the end of the season.
Sort it out,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Ollie at the
We
end
got
of the
there. We got there in
season.
the end.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
there.
Some clubs don't bring in 6 players in a calendar year.
Well, actually, ran out of kit. I ran out of kit that year. That was like, for what I'm going to do, that can you everything, they do the initials and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting this sprayed, getting all the stuff and reissuing it again. So,
How would you say, dramatically, that it's changed?
oh,
I mean, I know
oh,
well, the list is endless, though, isn't it? But I mean,
Wow.
in terms of
So when
what you did then and what you do.
So for when I started, probably staff wise, throughout the club from Martin down to it's not academy, but it was youth team, wasn't it? Like with Nishi and that.
Yeah.
I'd say it'd been a maximum of 20 staff.
Mm.
Now I'd say at the minute it'd be from the first team. This is just staff to down to the academy. You're looking around about 150.
Staff.
And we've got to. It's not just me now. There's
No, that's what I mean. Well, that's part of the
4 or 5 of us
progression,
now.
isn't it? Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 of us now because it's just as the club's grown,
Mm.
like every department's had to grow with it. So even like since COVID, we've come back. It's just got bigger and bigger. And when you come to a facility like this,
Yeah.
it's
unreal,
fantastic.
isn't it?
You probably don't notice it as much because I can be here. Everybody can be in. I can be here. I can be here all day and not see anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's that
'Cause
big.
You're in the dungeon.
Yeah, it'll be the kit cave.
Well, I'll tell you what. You mentioned Martin, so let's start with Martin.
Yeah.
You played 3 cup finals with Martin, 3 League Cup finals with Martin. Yeah.
Yeah.
You played in Europe as well against.
He wasn't actually playing.
No, I know, but he was there.
Although,
he went to Madrid.
Occasionally, he got on the field of play.
So let's go. The cup finals under Martin. What was the build up like? In regards to playing at Wembley, i.e. from the staff members' side of things.
Nothing ever really changed. What he used to do, the only thing that he used to do different was he used to go down to
Burnham Beaches.
Wasn't we? We used to go there for a couple of days, didn't we? Not the day before the game, it'd be a couple of days before.
Well, he used to take us into, you may be going to say that, but into town, didn't he?
Town to see a show.
Yeah.
See like the
West End musical.
West End show.
Saturday Night Fever.
And then do what you want. Like the next day, the lads could after training they could go like the pictures as long as they were back by a certain time.
Yeah.
And then just obviously then it'd be ready for the game. But like you say, what Martin was like for naming the team.
Yeah.
It was lastminute.com, wasn't it? Like if you'd be sat in the dressing room before like 3 o'clock kickoff, and you're there at 2 o'clock not knowing the team.
So he wouldn't tell
No,
you.
I never knew.
It's the shirts
I
round.
never knew what the team was.
So he never give you a heads up,
No,
so
no,
you
never.
could get all the shirts ready.
Martin
Never.
probably didn't know.
Mm.
He's probably like, I'm annoying,
Yeah.
ahhing and toying with it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just going reversing back quickly. Do you remember the Saturday Night Fever one we went to in town? And sitting in the theatre, and you got the lights, like Marshy and all of that. Never been to the theatre in their life. Yeah, this is rubbish. It's crap. Like all the way through, everyone's moaning and sulking, and it's quiet. By the end of it, I remember looking round because we had about 3 rows worth. All the
Everybody's
lads,
up
I was rocking and I didn't want it to end. It was brilliant.
You think I was pretty much the same. I thought, what do you want to go and see this for? Like, but like you say, at the end of the night, I remember was Buddy one of the shows as well? Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly might have been the first.
That was brilliant.
Probably. I didn't go
Cup
to
final.
that one. Yeah.
That was brilliant. Like it ended up like as a concert at the end of the show, and like you say, everyone's dancing in their eyes.
They're great, aren't they? Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, it was good. It took for the lads. Like it probably took their minds off the
Exactly.
game and everything. But yeah. But as for picking the team, naming the team, I just knew when you knew.
Wow.
So was it a quick swap shirts round?
Yeah, you just sort of like basically, because I was late, you know, see how I do it now. It's all laid out, everything.
Right, yeah.
Times on the mark, it'd be like, you'd be there like throwing stuff out. And
Oh, sorry, wrong top.
Oh, this is a cup final here.
I owe you a personal apology, Macca, because I put you through a lot of stress and anxiety, didn't I?
Did he?
Not intentionally. I wasn't trying to be a prima donna. Just the studs more than anything, wasn't it?
You wore Mizuno.
You even remember my boots back there, yeah. You saw them that often.
Yeah, and then like his shorts, like
he used to rip his shorts like that.
Yeah.
He used
the
to
actual
love
fat backside.
The actual boots, you used to go through them.
Yeah.
Like no other person ever had before or since.
Yeah, why is that? I don't know.
I know because I remember ordering. Remember they stopped doing them.
Yeah.
I managed to get 10 pairs from someone. I don't know where.
That's right. Yeah. Pull one out the hat. 10
pairs, and he just went through them like that. I think whether they lost their shape or whatever.
Quite a bit of a load to carry, didn't they?
Yeah.
To be fair. I used to soak them in the bath to get them spot on.
They were a nice boot. They were a nice soft boot, weren't
lovely,
they?
yeah, lovely. But I always wanted, going into too much detail, but like the studs. I'd go for warm-up tags, and I'd want long studs at the back, and then I'd want like medium, and then it would be long studs on the left foot. It would be different to the right foot. Wow. And then I'd go out and I'd be like, I ain't quite happy. So Macca, between the end of the warm-up and the start of going out, it's only about 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be worse.
Get them studs sorted, Macca. I need some long ones in the middle on the left.
You'd feel like a
panicking.
Like a pit crew of the Formula 1 team doing the tyres, sort of like that.
Of course, you used to clean the boots as well, didn't you, for the lads? Even though you were doing the kit. And then all them jobs were taken away from the apprentices, the YTSs, whatever you were called. And of course, Macca then used to clean the boots for the lads as well.
We still do.
You got the brunt of things at game time and that, didn't you?
Yeah, but I loved it.
No.
It is like the job. Probably changed since you got it. It's a bit more politically, correct. But it was a case of sink or swim in the day, wasn't it? Like you say, Parks. When I was dry, he used to make my life hell. He used to be on at me all the time, and I never used to bite. And there was one particular time we've left the stay at the Filbert Street to go where we were going.
You're saying this about driving?
This is when I'm back driving with Parks. It was always could always just hear Parks. All you could hear him, and he was nibbling away, shouting away. And then, do you remember? I don't know if you remember, we used to stop at a video shop on
Narborough Road.
Narborough Road, all the latest videos and whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember he saying something to me. I was stuck in traffic in Park, and I've just bit. And I can't swear, can I? As I said,
you can.
I said, Parks, will you shut up? And then the whole coach has just gone, hey. So I've gone,
finally got you.
Parks be like that, yeah.
Got me, but since that moment, me and Parks were like that.
Yeah.
We're like best mates. So I still speak to him quite regularly now. Yeah. He had me. He kept on at me until I'd gone, and then I thought.
Do you remember Parks' favourite? Who always used to do it was sort of a bit of an initiation type thing. When a new player would sign, he'd sidle his way up next to him. We might be in traffic in London or whatever, and he'd look around. We'd go past the cemetery, and he'd go like, oh, yeah. So say the new signing, he's like leering over their shoulder. Oh, see that's where the fellow who invented crosswords is buried in there. Didn't you know that? And like the new signing's like, really, yeah. Where's that then? He goes, 3 down, 4 across, way! And everyone's up for the new players.
I'll tell you one thing Parks did do to me when I was a kid. I don't know if it's his first or second season. But he was coming to the end of his playing career, and he used to start a game. He'd play about an hour or so. He'd always get hooked.
Yeah.
You remember the subs, boy? Before the electronics, it was them yellow boards.
Yeah.
And it was a case at the time, and whoever was doing the sub, it was like Macca, Parks was coming off, Stewie Cam was going on. So I'd go to the bag and then pull out number 10 and Stewie 16, whatever number. Yeah. So Parks goes, he was getting fed up of it, like getting pulled all the time. So never told me one day, he played the next game, time's come, he said, Mackie said, Parks so-and-so. So I've gone to the bag, couldn't find number 10.
Nowhere.
Said,
pulled it out.
It's sort of like he's took number 10 out.
Yeah.
Not told anyone, and he's hidden it. He's on the pitch, and I'm looking across, and he knows what's happening. He's on the pitch laughing. Yeah. And I goes, "What have you done?" He goes, "I said, Gaffer." He said, number 10's not there. so we've had to go to the fourth fish jar. So we want to bring number 10 off when he got his ball.
Please can we bring him off?
So Parks has come off like in the middle of a game, like, and he's laughing as he's coming off like that. He said, "What you did that? You killed me."
He was a character, wasn't he?
He was the best, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
a funny boy. Must be difficult at times. I didn't think it would like that because sometimes it's like, unintentionally or maybe sort of, with an element of innocence, people who maybe put you on the spot. So,
I've had one manager who called me in once. It was Martin Allen. He called me in and he said, "I want you to be my eyes and ears in the dressing room, and I want to know what's going on. I want
hole
you to
in the hole.
come back." I'll go, okay. No chance. No chance of my doing that.
Yeah, it's awkward, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
there's no way I'm going to do that. So he wanted me to, kiss and tell what's been said in the dressing room. I thought, no way. And luckily enough, he was only here 3 months, so.
Yeah.
Were you one of these, Macca, that depending on the result, you would take that home with you, or were you just solely focused on, what your job was? Obviously, you wanted the team to do well. And there's obviously been lots of ups and downs at Leicester City since you've been here. But would that affect your?
Yeah, probably sometimes. What can you say? Like the Watford, the playoff game. Yeah. Oh, that was horrendous. That was horrendous. It was. I remember being in the technical area because it was just right at the end of the game. And there's me and the Watford, the kit man. We'd just gone to get all the waters for extra time or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Got the penalty, and they've gone down and scored, and obviously the place has erupted, isn't it? I just remember it just felt like time was standing still. Like you see these film clips where everything you're stood there and everything's going around in slow motion.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God. So it was me and Casper in the dressing room at the end. The players couldn't get off the pitch because
it was invaded.
And Casper was smashing the dressing room up, and it was just going into one, and I'm just sat there in shock. And as Robin was a couple of hours later, everyone's gone, and me and Robin on the way back, we've realised we've not eaten all day. So we pulled into the service station. Place is packed with Leicester fans, isn't it? It's sort of like, but it was so weird because it was packed, but totally silent.
Was it?
Totally silent in there, yeah. And that was
still getting over it.
Yeah, that was probably as games got, that's probably the worst game.
Probably a bit of a stupid question here. Well, the Leicester City supporters, I'm guessing you were in your kit.
Yeah.
But if you weren't in kit, do they recognise you? You get acknowledgement.
Yeah,
I've had your face round town. That's what I'm saying, mate.
You're saying that about getting abuse or anything like that. Was Plymouth last year. Oh, it's one of my bogey grounds.
Lively down there, aren't they?
Oh, it's sort of like we're going the full-time whistle, gone back to the dressing room. This is our fans.
Right.
They're going quite rightly because they've gone all that way. And I was getting dogs. I was getting dogs abuse. And there was someone I knew.
Your poor performance.
There's someone I knew.
You're a shit kit man.
Yeah.
I said, early put the kit out. I said, what haven't they going to me for?
That's where your Coventry roots come into play.
But he's gone like he was. I won't say his name because I think you two know him as well. He's calling me everything like that. I said, just put the kit out, and he's just gone. Oh yeah.
I still don't like you. It's crazy how football gets people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever had any managers ask your advice on team selection or players? Team
selection?
Well, not team selection, but looking round at the bench and going, Macca.
Yeah.
Or
no. Remember Martin Allen? He said to me, he'd done it the week before. He asked Dave Rennie to say something at half time.
Right.
And Dave had to say something to speak to the players. And then the following
wouldn't mind that too much.
But the following game, he's turned around. He says, "I want you in the dressing room. I want you to say something." I went, "No chance."
Your turn.
Said,
no chance.
No chance. It's sort of like, so I've gone into the dressing room. This is at our place. So I've gone right round by the back of the bath, right at the back of the bath, and I said, "No, you can't. You don't see me. I'm not here." Next time, he said, "Macca." I thought, So I just ignored it. I refused to go in. And he said, "Where were you?" I said, "I was busy. I was just hiding out the way."
Yeah, fair play.
How can I speak to give players my opinion and all that?
He's putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
Putting you on the spot.
That was horrible.
Yeah, but I'm guessing times weren't going too well. At that stage, the players would take it a bit. It's not like you giving it a big one, is it?
He used to do just strange things, just like it just make you feel uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Not to just me. I mean, to a lot of other different people as well. He really worked different way to other managers that I've worked with.
Yeah, imagine if you give it like the big rousing speech. Fuck off, mate. Shut up, mate. What are you on about?
He actually did. I remembered it now. Let's just go to Martin Allen. We played at Accrington Stanley in the League Cup.
Right.
Whatever,
that's a good start.
Whatever the competition was called at the time. So we won the game 1-0, and halfway back, I didn't have a van at the time. Everything went on the coach. So I got called down. I was halfway down the coach, and they said, "The gaffer wants to speak to you." So, what's he want? So I've gone down the front. And he says, stared at me, and he goes, "What did you think of tonight?" I thought, "Oh," I said, "Oh, well, gaffer, it's one of them games, isn't it? It's a no-win situation. You expected to win, like so."
Yeah.
We started off. We scored after about 5 minutes. So Weslowski scored. I said, "You got to give credit. You got to give credit to Accrington. They had a go after half an hour. They had a right good go. They played really well, but we hung on, beat them 1-0." And he just looked at me like that. He just went, "Okay." He went, "Fuck off." I went, "Oh, okay."
What was he wanting you to say?
I thought. I don't know what blows smoke up his back. But I thought, well,
it was a hard-earned win.
Trying to give it a bit of a diplomatic answer.
So he just prayed in the voice on the coach to go down and speak to him, like, you know. So but he was the only person.
Sounds like you had some strange times under Martin Allen, but
not half, yeah.
What was it like day to day? That was still sort of in your early part of your time. What was it like day to day with Martin, Robbo, Wally?
Oh, brilliant. So you never see Martin, did really, till the Thursday.
No.
It's if you lost a game though, and you see him in that little narrow corridor, he was down one end of the corridor, and you're looking, "Oh no," you're looking for a door. To get
so he'd blank you as well.
He wouldn't speak to you. But then on a Friday, if we were away, he was a completely different person. He was all hyper, energetic, and he loved it. Like,
what was he like round the dinner table on a Friday night?
Good, it's good. Really good. Yeah, you see, we all have a drink.
Yeah,
and we'd all have. He was big into quizzes.
Right.
So we'd like the staff would be split into 2 quiz teams, and over a few beers and all that. No, we'd have a good night. But like Wally and Robbo, you know what they like for the smoking?
Yeah.
He used to come in the morning, like Sheila in the laundry at the time. She smoked as well. He used to go and have all the kits in there.
Yeah.
Or just go in there. It was just a film of smoke.
It was as well.
Just all the kits
just smoked inside, didn't they? Yeah.
Lads are going out to training, smelling like the bookies.
Yeah.
It was just Wally and Frankie, wasn't it? Frankie, Wally, and Robbo and Sheila. Just 4 of them just there
Franklin.
In this little tiny area, constantly smoking, and like Robbo and Sheila doing the crossword every day.
Yeah.
And then Wally just, cutting your socks up or your pants up and everything like that. They just didn't know. They just didn't know what to expect, on it.
Wally, like, infamously, remember one morning, we were starting at 10:30 training, so it's not exactly an early start, is it?
Yeah.
10:30, and he comes, we went to go out, we had to walk around from the change room past the laundry, and Wally's gone, no, just go and sit back down. He said, "I'm having a coffee and a fag. We'll start at 11:15. So we sat in the changing rooms like that, and then, so right, getting a bit twitchy, 11:15, we went back out again, and he's gone, no, I'll tell you what, lads, I'm still not ready. He goes, go and warm yourselves up. He said, I'm having another coffee and another fag. He didn't come out till 11 o'clock.
What about the one when it used to start raining and then he'd run in?
Yeah.
He'd put on a session, it'd start raining, and then you're halfway through it and you've not realised that Wally's run in.
Yeah, you claim like, yellow ball, Wally, he's gone.
I'll tell you one thing that Wally done to me when he was at Celtic at the time. I've gone up for a Champions League tie the night before. You know, we're a Celtic fan.
Yeah.
So I've stayed overnight, and I've gone into Celtic the next day after the game, and with Robbo, Wally, and Martin, gone for a bit of lunch. Left my bag in Martin's office. Got taken to the airport, dropped off at the airport, checking my stuff through. The fella stopped me. He goes, the customs face says, "Excuse me, sir, have you packed this bag yourself?" I went, "Well, yeah, it's only just a change of clothes." He says, "Yeah, I have, yeah." He goes, "Can you explain this, please?" He's pulled out about 20 knives.
Behave yourself.
Yeah, knives, yeah, like I thought. Not they're like knives and forks, they're sort of like cutlery.
Cutlery.
Yeah.
I went, "No." To be fair, he saw the funny side of it. I said, "I've been stitched up." He said, "He started laughing." He said, he took it off me. And I got to where I was Luton. And he must have known where he just checked where I was. And he phoned me up. I seen his name pop up. And I answered, "All right." And he was just laughing down the other end of the phone. I said, Was it you? And he went, "Yeah." I thought, well, I said, I've shit myself there. I said, he's pulling these knives out the back. Yeah, those are the sort of things he used to do.
Who, Wally, yeah, superb.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good character, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So we'll move forward then a little bit, Macca, and talk about your time under Nigel Pearson, because obviously, you know, you spoke there briefly about the playoff final there at Watford, and obviously there was the season that went up, and then the Great Escape season.
Yeah, I remember like when Nigel came in, League One, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first time round, yeah,
One.
of course.
And he's Nigel shaky, and Walshy.
Walshy Senior.
Best people I've worked for.
Yeah.
You know, you need.
Shaky was unbelievable.
Shaky was brilliant. It was brilliant. It's so gutted like when what's happened to him what happened recently. But the three of them, they built sort of like the foundations of where we are now. Sort of like a lot of the staff are still here from when they started off. Yeah, Reevesy, Mitch, and like Silks and the physios. There's been a couple of changes this season, but genuinely they've built to where we are now. Really,
I remember when Nigel first came in and he just transformed the whole place straight away. Even though Leicester were in League One, just transformed it overnight.
Yeah, it was just no nonsense. Like he just knew where you stood with him. Like, and I loved it. Obviously, being successful helps, doesn't it? Like, so he won League One, great. Playoffs with following season with Cardiff with the Kermagant thing. It's but then we won it, didn't we? We won it the following season, didn't we? We cruised it, didn't we? That Great Escape was, that was a great season really. In the end, and obviously then gone on to.
Nigel kept saying throughout that campaign, didn't he?
Yeah.
I remember seeing post-match interviews, and some people thought he was being sort of, overly sort of stubborn or defensive.
Yeah.
But he was saying how close the games were. They were in most of those games. They didn't lose by.
I always remember.
Just the odd goal here and there, wasn't it?
I always remember, I'm not one for rushing home, watch match of the day, or anything like that. I remember when we lost at Arsenal, it was a night game. I remember Wenger coming out saying, I think we were about 7 or 8 points adrift from safety. I remember Wenger saying on TV, he can't understand the position we're in. He said, I just can't get my head around it. That was someone like Wenger saying.
Yeah.
And so if he's thinking it,
that's a nice little pep talk, isn't it? Yeah.
And then after that, I think did we get Houthi in around that time?
Yeah, he came on.
It's just like a light switch went on. Sort of like we got a result, and then we just went on that roll, didn't we? Apart from the Chelsea game, we win every game, didn't we?
Yeah, won every game.
It's and obviously then that's when built it on them for the following season.
So obviously when you're saying you were adrift by however many points, what was the atmosphere in the dressing room like after the games you were losing?
I think it was just like the frustration of it. Just can't get your head around why we're there. It's but then like I say we had we got won a result, then things started to go your way. Little decisions, or and what have you, and then we were clear then. So we stayed up on with the game to spare.
That's right. Yeah. And then there was the next season, this season. This season of all seasons.
This season, yeah.
Talk a bit about that.
That was. It was weird. It was just weird. It was probably a season.
Even weirder now, looking back on it, isn't it?
Enjoyed it. It was like, because we started off so well. Like Claudio's come in, and
what was the mood there? But again, without asking too many details, but
yeah,
you mentioned that about Claudio, like Nigel going, and then Claudio coming in. What was the mood in the
Claudio came in? We were out in Austria pre-season on a training camp, and it was all sorts of rumours who was coming in. I think Lenny and Parks were rumoured to come.
Is that right?
To come in, yeah.
Right.
And I honestly thought it was Lenny and Parks were going to be named managers.
You were like, oh no, not Parks again.
I'm thinking like, and then it was it's Claudio. It's Claudio's coming in. But we were never 100% sure. And we got called into the meeting room in Austria.
There's two opposites there, and
it was like stars
Lenny
in
and
your
Parks and Claudio Ranieri.
It was like stars in your eyes, like with waiting for the smoke to come through, someone to walk through. And Claudio's walked through.
You're like, thank God.
Oh, it's Claudio. He's right. So then he's sort of gone around. It was just like, and he only knew Houthi. So he's speaking to Houthi, and then he's introduced himself to everyone, and it's like everything else. You know, when you've got a new manager, you're on your toes, aren't you? Sort of like
absolutely.
eggshells, and sort of like make sure everything's right. Got off to a great start in the season, haven't we? And it just kept on going and going. But I kept on looking at the teams who were in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
We're top of the table.
Yeah.
And you'd come in after a game, and I was looking to see who got relegated. Was it Villa? Villa got relegated. Villa and Norwich. I used to come. How did Villa get on? We're about 30 points clear of them. So sort of like,
Ranieri kept saying that, didn't he? 40 points.
Yeah, at the beginning with.
40,
And then when he got
to about 4 games to go. No,
when he got there, and then it was we'll finish as high as we can. And finish in the top 4.
He did brilliant.
Yeah, no, we're going for the title.
it was
Kept the pressure off, didn't it?
It was just enjoyable. Like you say, you got to 40 points. You're thinking like, oh, this is great. Like, and I always remember like people say about the Man City game.
Yeah.
And what have you.
Yeah.
I remember after that game, we've all come back into the changing room, and it's a different changing room now. But it was just long. It was a long changing room, big. Everyone's come in and sat down. Everyone's quiet. No one has said a word again. Like it was just totally quiet. I don't know if we were waiting for a player to come in or the Claudio to come in. We were just waiting, and I always remember Drinky just sat forward and he went, "What the fuck's just happened there?"
Yeah.
So and everyone just started laughing.
Yeah.
And sort of thinking, well, we just beat them 3-1.
Yeah.
And
at the Etihad.
At the Etihad, yeah.
Do you think it was that general sort of like realisation that
I still
we've got a chance here? Was it sinking into the lads?
No,
then?
I was still. Personally, I'm thinking like
you weren't thinking
it's only a matter of time before
something blows up.
Big guns are going to come past us.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know, it was the Palace game for me. We won 1-0 at Palace, and like our fans wouldn't leave the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The Palace fans are singing, "You're going to win the league."
Yeah.
And it's sort of like,
what was that, like 10 games to go, something like that?
7 or 8 games.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, oh no. I said, don't. I had nothing in my head that we were going to win the league. It was after the Palace game. I thought, oh, don't blow it now.
Yeah. Once you start thinking that, maybe it goes wrong.
But
Yeah.
the lads that season were never nervous. Well,
No.
to me, looking at them, they didn't look nervous. It was just like so confident. But after the Palace game, I was a bag of nerves. Every game, I was a bag of nerves.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah. I used to get so nervous.
To be fair, I mean, it's a lot easier for me to say that, but from a lot further, away from it, I was always strangely confident of them doing it. You know, people were putting the pressure on about saying Tottenham this, they've got to play and they're going to chase you down. I was like, Tottenham have got to win every game.
Yeah.
Pretty much for the last 7-8 games of the season.
And Leicester have got to lose all.
Lose like 4.
I always remember that.
Is that going to happen? It hasn't happened all season. Why is it going to happen now?
Because Tottenham were always after that run-in. Tottenham were always playing after us, weren't they?
Yes, that's right.
They were always playing after us. And I used to watch games like if it was Monday Night Football, they'd come out and say, Spurs won 3-4. And I thought, here we go again. And the night of the Chelsea game, a lot of the lads, the staff, they were going to Saw Point in town to watch it. He said, and Deb said, "Are you going to go?" I went, "No." I said, "Why am I going into town to watch Chelsea? To watch Spurs?"
Still the regular haunt then, Saw Point.
Yeah. So I goes, I don't want to be in town, watch Spurs beat Chelsea. I'll be gutted. She said, "Well, you might as well." She said, "What if Chelsea do it and you're stuck at home?" I went, "All right, okay." So I'm in the bar half time, 2-0 Spurs.
Yeah.
I'm raging.
Yeah.
I said, "I just want to go home. I just want to go home." Ended up being one of the best nights of my life.
Oh, yeah.
So when he's put that in, because actually when he scored, we won the league. We were party central, wasn't it, for two or 3 weeks? And we played Chelsea the last game of the season. I've come out of the dressing room for the warm up, and Hazard stood outside the dressing room. I don't know if he's waiting for him to come out. And I've just didn't think. I just walked up to him and just gave him a big hug. He hasn't got a clue who I am. I was just going, "Oh, come here." It's like that. And he's pushed, whoa. I goes, "Oh, thank you. And, "Oh, okay."
You weren't the only one.
I thought, I was thinking, what have I just done there?
Yeah.
But,
And that was obviously due to the fact that he'd scored the
equalising
goal,
Yeah, that's sort of like
against Tottenham. Yeah.
I was we're out in town then that night. The place, everyone's come out into the city, haven't they? Like, and we just got blitzed.
So many experiences, like going away on pre-season, end of season trips,
mid-season trips. Yeah, like, I remember first season, like we went out to Marbella.
Yeah.
So like, hang on a minute, I'm being paid to go out to Marbella. Yeah. So like you'd be there 3 or 4 days, one training session, 3 days playing golf and getting on it.
Port-a-Banús and all that.
Port-a-Banús, yeah.
Would you have brought all the kit out for like 3 days for training? And
had to bring kit out for a session, whatever, but you knew it wasn't getting used.
We didn't train every day though, did we?
Do you remember?
I remember your pot on, we had the operation.
Yeah, out in Spain. Yeah, absolutely.
What was that one? Yeah. So when Frankie had the same.
Yeah, he sat in Sinatra's for 3 days. He just sat in Sinatra's for 3 days, didn't move. With his foot on the table like that.
Oh, at least you had it elevated. So.
Yeah. The one that springs to my mind is Tenerife when we played beach cricket.
Oh, when we've gone training in the morning, he's cancelled it. Yeah. So we got on the coach to go down to this training ground, and it was like a, what do you call them pitches? It's like sand, like it was like a sand pitch, wasn't it? Like, and everyone's drunk. Martin goes, "Right, everyone back on the coach. We're going back. Meet you down on the beach cricket."
Yeah.
So everyone had to play, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it's. I think, what we do? This is like before.
There was a week
before the final, wasn't it?
Before the week before the cup final.
Yeah, before the final. I was to see, it was Arne Gunnarsson on a sunbed in his white suit. Fast, like John Travolta suit.
Yeah.
He's fast asleep, and I think, oh my.
Yeah, I remember the playing, and Arne was like in the outfield, but
he was lying down on the sunbed.
On the sunbed. He still had that suit on.
He had the suit on, yeah. But I'm just thinking, like.
But I remember Marcy, because it's gone up, someone's hit it, and Marcy's gone, "Catch it!" And he looked down, and the ball just plonked next to Arne, and he's asleep on the sunbed in his suit.
I was just thinking, like, no social media then. So, oh my God. That's it.
And that was the only training session we did all week.
And then we go play a cup final.
And win.
And win.
Oh dear, funny times.
Yeah.
Funny times out there. I mean, again, you almost get the best of both worlds a little bit as well, because if you wanted to, you could come out with us, couldn't you? Or the players.
Yeah.
But you could also go out with the staff.
Yeah.
Whereas the coach, the manager,
Yeah.
aren't coming out with the players.
I remember that it was Tenerife as well. I remember getting back in at 8 o'clock in the morning. Getting back into the hotel. I think it was Cinco, like in a few episodes, nothing out of order, but obviously it's got back to Martin, and obviously he always knew that I was out with you guys.
Yeah.
But he never asked me.
Yeah.
He never asked me what happened. So I thought, please, I thought if he asked me, I've got to tell. I can't lie. I've got to tell the truth. So I remember, like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Later on that day, I was hanging. I was rough as. And he just come up to me and he said, he just put you in your spot just by saying one sentence. He said, "Good night." And I went, "Yeah." Yeah, thought so. Just get out, thought, and then just walked off, and you're like,
It make you feel that big.
oh no, I thought, shall I go tonight?
Yeah.
I went out.
And you went out.
Went
and you went out.
Went out. Yeah, he did.
Well, there was no training to get up for. That was the thing.
But honestly, if you do your job, he didn't mind. If you'd done your job, he didn't mind what you'd done. So yeah, very good.
What was it like for you, for your memories, like when King Power family took over the ownership of the club?
Well, we went out to. We actually went out. Sven was appointed manager, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-on question. Yeah, working under Sven.
We played that game, but Powley and Stowley took the game. Sven was there. Then we flew straight out to Thailand. So the boss and like Top were there at the hotel. So it's the first time we've been in their company, and such nice people. And he calls Vishai's called me over, and at the time we were sponsored by Birder, Birder the kit, and he was saying, "Tell me, Macca." He said, "What is this?" I said, "Well, it's Birder." He said, "But who are they?" I said,
Did he call you Macca?
The guy says, I said, "To be honest, boss," I don't know. I said, I don't do the deals.
Yeah.
I said, "I'll just look after the kit." He said, "We should be with somebody like Adidas or Nike. We should be with the bigger people." So like straight away, you're thinking like
elevated things.
Elevating, yeah. So then I got stitched up, and he said like we're at the hotel. It was on the beachfront hotel, and there was like a barbecue, and we were on the beach, and just having a quiet drink or what have you, and they had a band on by the pool. So Vishai goes, he said, "You sing?" I went, "No." He said, "I had some people tell me
you do.
People tell me you sing." I went, No. He said, "Karaoke?" I said, "We all do karaoke, boss." It's like when we've had a few beers. He said, "You sing?" I went, I said, I need to be drunk." He says, "Go and get drunk." Okay.
If I must.
So about a couple of hours later, he said, "Now you go and sing." I thought, oh my God! So it wasn't a karaoke machine; it was a band.
Oh, was it?
It was a band, yeah.
Proper band.
They're full on out there, aren't they, with the karaoke?
Yeah, band, and I thought, oh my God! So everyone's on the beach, and I've just got this microphone, and I've had to sing a song.
What do you sing?
Yellow.
Oh, Yellow.
Barry
Coldplay, isn't it?
Barry Manilow.
No.
Got to be Yellow.
Coldplay. That's my go-to song, isn't it, all the time? So I was saying to these Thai people, "Would you know Coldplay? Yeah, Yellow." They just the guitar and the drum would look like that. I goes, "Oh, let's go with it then." So, and I was like sober, and you could see the staff were laughing. They stitched me.
How was it? Any good?
No, it was terrible. What saved me? The person before me was terrible. So that saved me. But everyone all on the beach looking, they were just laughing. Like, cause I thought, to do out this bad enough in the karaoke machine with a band. It was.
You got any photos of that on the mantelpiece?
It was Plummy might have, wasn't it?
Yeah, Plummy will have some somewhere. So you got on well with Sven going out?
Yeah, lovely fellow. Yeah. He was.
He didn't last that long, did he? In the end.
No, I can't say. How long was he last? A year? Been a year?
Yeah.
He was. I couldn't believe how popular he was. I remember like hotels on a Friday night.
World.
Yeah, like we'd be at a hotel on a Friday night, and he wouldn't hide away. He'd come into a bar for a drink, and he'd just get swamped with people looking for pictures and photographs. And I said to him one night, I said, "Do you ever get fed up of it?" And he goes, "No." He said, "The day I worry is when they don't ask for one." So I thought that was great way. He was such a nice fella.
Yeah. People always talk well of him, don't they? Yeah. Whether they played under him or worked with him, whatever. But sadly, no longer with us.
No.
Absolutely.
As are too many people.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it was. But it did. It mentioned there like elevation of levels, but it did take the club up.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Convichai, obviously, Top.
Sort of like the year.
Power. All of a sudden, moving in different circles.
I mean, like it was sort of like we won the league, and the next thing we're out in that Champions Cup. We're out in LA. We played Celtic at Glasgow, which was like for me was a dream come true. Yeah. Flew out to LA. We playing PSG.
Yeah.
And then they fight Sweden to play Barcelona.
Yeah.
I think,
that's just pre-season.
It was pre-season, yeah. Look all over the place.
How times have changed. Talking about pre-seasons again. We were having a little waffle before we were on the settee, but a certain trip to Lincoln springs to mind.
Oh, no.
From LA to Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly. How times progressed and changed. But was that pre-season?
What, when I played?
You ended up getting on the field to play.
I tell you what it was. It was a week before we played Wickham in the quarter-final.
Right, okay.
The week before, and I forget the name of the team. It wasn't Lincoln, the main.
Not
it
Lincoln
wasn't
City,
Lincoln, no,
Lincoln
I
United.
think it was Lincoln United. They had some floodlights fitted or something like. And Peter Taylor agreed to send the first team up to play them, to switch the lights on.
Yeah, that's strange.
This is a week before the Wickham game.
Yeah.
So of course, you imagine like you guys.
I don't think I went a lot though, because I was struggling with my knee.
Nobody
vague
wanted.
memories of it. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm imagining it or not, but
Nobody wanted to play in it. But
well, obviously,
everyone's had to go. So it was Parks. Parks has took the game. He's in charge of it. So I've gone with it's me and Parks. And
so you're assistant manager for this.
Yeah. So I was. So the game, the weather was horrendous. It was just pouring out rain.
Sounds great.
And got to half time, and the lads sort of said, "Parks need to come off here." And I was sort of like feeling. I thought, here we go. So Parks said, "I'm going on." He said, "You're in charge." I said, "Yeah." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're going to have to be in charge." He said, "You might have to come on. You're going to get changed." I said, "No, I'm not getting changed." He said, "You will need to get changed." So I got changed into kit.
Oh, you hadn't shrunk the kit.
Sure. The game's going on, and it was about 20 odd minutes to go.
Did it say 18 Elliott on your shirt?
Yeah, squeezed into it.
So next thing, players said, "I've got to come off." So there's only just me. I said, "I can't go on." He said, "There's about a couple of thousand people there." And he said, "So I've had to end up going on." I said, "What do you want me to do?" He said, "Oh, just go up front." So I went up to this big centre half back, but size of you. I said, "Mate, you don't have to worry about me." I said, "Just leave me alone." I said, "Just leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Just leave me alone." And then there's games going on, the likes of Impey, like, were pinging balls into my feet and what have you.
Imps was playing at that, yeah.
I always remember it was one of my things. He pinged the ball into me, and I've controlled it and laid it off. I was looking around.
Trotted off.
Did you see that? And then this one I said to the centre half, "So you don't have to worry about me, mate." I said, "So I'm not going to do anything." I'll hit the bar with a header. And I thought you must have been gutted, because honestly, he was as big as you. And I sort of like got in front of him and like, it's just clipped the top of the bar. I thought,
wow.
If that had gone in,
I'd
have ran back to Leicester.
You'd have been off and running.
Yeah, that's merely 20 minutes.
Ravanelli celebration.
Yeah.
There's a colleague of yours, I don't think we mentioned it, but like, rewinding a bit, so Bob, who used to do the driving.
Yeah.
Bob Walls.
Yeah, he took
Bob Walls, yeah. Who was, again, the players had great affection for.
Odd job.
Odd job, that was it.
Odd job. Yeah.
Solid figure, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The reason I mentioned him, or he sprung to mind, other than being very well thought of by everyone, I know you were really close to him, but he got on the field to play as well, didn't he?
Port Vale,
yeah.
And that was end of season.
Yeah.
That was end of season.
And he was solid, let's say, shall we, Bob, wouldn't he? He would have done well to fit in one of those kits, put it that way.
It was a test.
Aspen.
Neil Aspin.
Neil Aspin, yeah.
Yeah, and Robbie Williams, of all people.
Yeah, Robbie Williams played in it.
We all shared the dressing room, didn't we? Both teams were in the same dressing room.
Yeah, but he was late. Do you remember Robbie Williams? It was myself at the front, who was captain on the day, because it was at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Tim Flowers, 6'3", Esky, 6'2", Tags, and someone else, I can't remember, front five at the queue. And we're waiting for Robbie Williams, who just turned up, late, hungover, jet lagged, and he came rolling up, and he was standing next to us. He's only about, I don't know, was he 5'9", 5'10",
yeah,
whatever,
something like that.
Still quite tall for me, that.
So yeah. You were at the pack, mate. No, but he looked up and he was like, "Oh, flipping hell! I've come all this way for this." Tagsy's like growling at him. He said, "Don't worry, you'll be getting it, son." And you went through him, didn't you?
Yeah,
you took it serious, didn't you? That it was, that.
He turned me, right? He turned me, and I just fouled him. He went down. I thought, I'm not going to get away with that, but he did me.
Because I remember for a test.
And then he went into the penalty box with a Taggart smashed into him, right? And he started that.
I picked him up.
Flattened. And Taggart just picked her up. Hello, Robbie. Gerry Taggart, pleased to meet you. And picked him up like that. And he was like flipping. His head was spinning and his eyes were rolling. And it was good fun, though. But Bob got on, didn't he?
God, because I don't know who took the game. Was it Frankie or Rob? Anyway, Rob, Bob.
It wasn't Martin, put it that way.
He says, Bob, do you want to go on? Oh, I'll go on. Yeah, don't worry about that. So he's got ready to go on. Again, it was quite a big crowd, wasn't it? Quite a big crowd. And they brought Stevie Claridge off.
Yeah.
He was raging. Stevie,
it was end of the season. Claridge had travelled all the way from down south.
He's come up to play and he's brought him off for Bob. He was raging.
Bad Bob.
You just thought like, he'd be all right. Then, good bit of a laugh. Yeah, he wasn't happy at all.
Yeah.
So then Bob just running around for like 10, 15 minutes.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Bless him. Well, yeah. I bet he loved it, didn't he?
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Good memories, mate. Good memories.
Yeah. FA Cup, Macca?
Oh, yeah. Talking of good memories.
Another one. Yeah.
Wembley. You said you went to the 87, was it? FA Cup final when Coventry won, your boyhood club.
Yeah.
And then you were back there in 2021.
2021. Yeah, it was COVID. It was COVID. It was the actual. You've gone through the rounds, and we beat. Was it Man United? Was it Man United in the quarterfinals? We beat. I think then we played Southampton.
Southampton in the semis
at Wembley, and they had fans. There was about 4,000. They were allowed 4,000, but they weren't allowed to. Yeah. They weren't allowed to cheer or anything or sing or anything like that. Strange.
Yeah, something bizarre, wasn't it?
It was so strange. You're walking out of the pit. You like being at the zoo, like because you go out and you see fans in the stand, and they're looking at you. You're looking at them, and it's like silent. So, really weird situation.
Yeah.
So got to the final, and what was it? Was it 20,000?
Yeah.
Was it
something like that?
Yeah. I've got my suspicions there was slightly more than that there.
Yeah, but the actual.
I was fortunate enough to be at both.
Yeah.
Semi and the final.
The actual.
But it was a decent atmosphere in the final.
Crowd, we like saying, because you've gone over a year really without a crowd. That crowd made noise for about 200,000.
Yeah,
so noisy.
And I found as well it was special because you could see individuals.
Yeah.
Celebrating and how much it meant, because after a long period of like not much fun, for want of a better phrase.
It was.
You know, you saw sort of the release of emotion out of it as well.
It was a great day. I always remember the goal because we were just about to make a substitution and we were bringing I think Madders was just about to come on. And at the time of COVID, because they're like you're not touching like stuff, like your stuff have to be clean, everything. I had to do for 18 months. I had to do the subs.
That was a major ball ache for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. So in Europe, you have to do. You used to have a bench representative, but you have to go to all these meetings or whatever because no one wanted to do it. They said, "Oh, Macca, you do it." So that means I have to be the bench rep on for a game, do all the substitutions. And
Is there any job you haven't done, mate?
No, it's just because nobody else wanted to do it. But the FA Cup final, I just had the ball and I was just walking out to give the fourth official the paperwork, and I was like in line with Gerry, and when he smacked it.
Did you tell him to hit it?
No, I was just that split moment. That's in, and it's just gone. He's just like straight
great
in.
finish.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Got mad, didn't he? Sort of like
crazy, wasn't it?
Sort of like, and he that's probably my favourite moment at the club that day. That's Premier League as well.
Yeah.
FA Cup final win was the best day. But they couldn't get us out of Wembley after the game because there was. Obviously, a lot of beers and champagne in the dressing room. Party on the pitch, and all the staff, the Wembley staff, kept on coming. It's like, we need to go. You need to go. Everyone's in their kit. So in the end, I said, look, mate. I said, you have your Man Cities and your Arsenals. I said, the United, they come here. It's every other year for them. I said, this is once in a lifetime for us. They said, you're not getting rid of us. And they went, oh, okay. So we were in there till I think it was about 10 o'clock at night.
In the changing room?
Changing room, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the changing room, yeah.
So you had
Because I said to her, well, everyone's drinking. And we
You didn't have anything organised elsewhere.
no, well, we had a party. There was
such,
a little party back at the training ground, a little get together. There was nothing at the hotels, no,
Yeah.
because it was like COVID.
You just made the most, right, because
Was it
COVID on
COVID?
top, yeah. So you just made the most of that situation.
It's like just me and Rob had gone down in the van with the kit and everything, and I've suddenly realised about 9 o'clock I've been drinking beers. I was thinking,
And you've got to drive.
and I said, Rob, have you had a beer? He went, no, I've just had just the one or two. He said, I said, I'm all right to drive. I said, thank God for that. I said,
Yeah. You're going to be sleeping there.
I'm smashed. I said, I
You're
can't
sleeping
drive.
in the van on
I said,
top of all the dirty
I
kit.
said, I can't. I've got plenty of pictures of that day. It's that was a great day.
There's a little reoccurring theme here, Macca, isn't there? But in the meantime, mate, I think we've pretty much covered the essentials.
Yeah.
Although the fairy tale goes on, mate. There's many more chapters ahead,
Hopefully,
I'm sure. Not hopefully, there will be,
will be. Yeah.
100%. But it's been a privilege, like getting to know you and knowing you over the years as well. Always got a warm, friendly face, and loads of people think similar about you.
Pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Just my back's playing me up, it's making me grimace. But no, we had some great times ourselves,
Yeah, we
and
did, yeah.
many other people could say similar about you.
A few Christmas dues he was invited on
Yeah, yeah.
well.
It was always
Part
out
of the
there,
fabric.
Always there on the
yeah.
Christmas
there or
dues,
thereabouts.
Part of the fabric. Everyone just says like Macca, and instantly like smile comes to people's faces and appreciate what you've done. So fair play to you, mate, and thank you.
Cheers,
For
lads.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Macca.
That was all right.
Continued success.
Okay,
my
mate.
friend.
Cheers, pal.